In this video, we're going to learn how to use the chain rule using two methods. So you're having a function y is equal to 1 minus 5x raised to the 6th power, and you need to find the y prime, and the y prime will be the derivative, okay? And you're going to use the chain rule, but let's use the first method. So suppose that I'm going to say let y is equal to f of g of x. So this is a composite function in which g of x is a variable of which f will be a function of. Okay? Composite function. So now, using the chain rule, the rule tells us that the y prime, the derivative, will be the f prime of g of x multiplied by of x. Okay? So this is what the chain rule says. Okay, so we basically start from the outside and we work inner. Okay, we work from the outside and we go to the inside. That's how we take derivatives. That's the order of derivatives. So now, if y is equal to 1 minus 5x raised to the 6th power, obviously the g of x will be 1 minus 5x. Okay, so the y prime in this case will be working from the outside, and obviously working from the outside means that we will have to treat this 1 minus 5x as a g of x, and we will have to work around it. Basically, we're going to use the power rule, so we're going to bring the 6 here. We're going to keep the g of x intact, just as it is in the formula. G of x is untouched. Close, and then reduce the power by 1. And then we're going to multiply it by the g prime of x. And since g of x is 1 minus 5x, we're going to take the derivative. That's what g prime of x simply means, right? And the derivative of 1 minus 5x is going to be 0 minus 5. Okay, so it's going to be negative 5. And that will give us negative 30, because we're going to multiply the negative 5 with the 6. Negative 30, 1 minus 5x to the 5th power. That's the first method that you can use using the chain rule. But now the second method is a little bit different, but it uses the same technique. Essentially, you're going to use substitution the same way as you thought of g of x. Okay? So, first of all, let me tell you that the y prime can be expressed as dy dx, and simply h of x, h prime of x. Okay, but h prime of x would mean that we have to have h of x is equal to 1 minus 5x to the 6th power, right? The entire function, the original function, would be h of x in this case. So now, using the second method, we're going to use this dy divided by the dx. Okay? And notice that the derivative makes sense. It's very similar to the slope formula that you used in your pre-calculus, because you found the change of y divided by the change of x. Only the difference being is that this is the instantaneous slope at a particular point. But in this case, obviously, the slope will give you a function. You'll get a function of the slope that you will be able to use at any point and find the instantaneous slope. Okay, so we're going to use this part here. We already used the y prime. And we're going to use this part. Okay, so to find the dy divided by the dx, you will simply use this formula. Let u be equal to g of x. And g of x was what? 1 minus 5x, right? Now the dy du sorry, not dy du, du dx will be equal to minus 5. Okay, now let y equal to u to the 6th power. And why to the 6th power? Because we have the original function 1 minus 5x raised to the 6th power. Right? So I'm treating 1 minus 5x as the u. Okay? And now dy du will be equal to 6 u to the 5th power. Right? Because I'm just using the power rule. 6 goes as the constant and u decreases by 1. Okay? So basically now to find the dy dx, dy divided by the dx, we simply follow the rule of having dy over du multiply the du divided by the dx. And that's all. And notice how the du's would cancel out and you would be left with dy divided by the dx. Right? So now we're going to substitute the values that we know. So dy over du is going to be 6u to the 5th multiplied by the du dx. So multiplied by negative 5. And now, before we're done, we have to substitute back the u to the 5th. U to the 5th was what? Well, what was u? U was this, right? Because we said that the u was g of x, 1 minus 5x, right? So u to the 5th means that we're going to have 1 minus 5x raised to the 5th power, right? Because we're just substituting back the u. And multiplying it back, multiplying it with negative 5. So as a result, look what happens, guys. We're getting the same result as in the first method that we used. Okay, so you have to choose which method will work best for you, but these are the essential two methods associated with using the chain rule when you're taking the derivative of a composite function. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe and I'll see you in my next video.